Hello everybody and welcome back to 539 Productions. Today we're going to be exploring this amazing 140-year-old covered bridge and also an old decaying graveyard located directly behind it. And it's a lot easier to just walk through than it is to drive. It can be quite a scary experience hearing the creaking of the boards beneath the wheels of your car. But the construction is obviously really sound, otherwise it would never last this long, even though it has had quite a bit of work done to it over the years to keep it in that condition.
So this one is a lot longer than the previous one that I did. It's probably about triple the length. And I was trying to do it live, however, it got messed up because the signal in this area is just not good enough to go live.
So now we're beginning to be able to see the graveyard beyond, as well as some amazing views through the windows of this old bridge.
Now we're on the other end, and you can see we have this historic graveyard right here. I'm gonna go ahead and check this out for a minute here. And the stones are pretty decayed. It looks like we have more than a few veterans here. Definitely some Civil War era graves here. Seeing a few American flags, but not an incredible amount. You can see again, this particular graveyard has some troubles around the edges, and this is even a veteran here. And they've kind of been left out in the brush. You can see behind it there is the covered bridge, and this over here is the actual fence line, and it's heavily overgrown. I'm even spotting a few more up ahead that are just left in the brush. It's too thick to actually venture into it. So there may be some more way back there as well. Definitely some animals have been boring down into the ground. This is really neat. I love the metal plaques. They really age in a very unique way. Looks like we have another veteran's grave up here of some sort. And it's way too decayed to see what it is. Ugh. And one lonely little grave up around the edge here. Again, I'm not sure if it's the real edge of the graveyard or just the current day. it may mean that there's stuff back in there as well. Lots of the graves seem to be lost in this decorative landscaping that have just grown way too large over the years. You can see even behind it, it seems to have been a fairly popular plant to use in the graveyard. And why they aren't doing some very simple weed whacking to it, I don't know.
These pots seem to be in dire need of replacement. However, they may be still kept here just purely for historical significance. On this side is a very, very simple inscription. It's still pretty neat. Gives it a very minimalistic appearance. And overall, it's not the worst graveyard I've ever seen in terms of the condition. However, it does have some extreme amounts of decay and, again, lots of problems along the edges. And over here we can see that this is actually a member of the Oddfellows, which also seems to be the only fraternal organization, at least with any sort of markings, in this graveyard. And on the side of the bridge, a plaque has been mounted with a lot of the historic details of the structure. And again, an amazing view out these windows. And although there is a decent amount of graffiti and names etched into it, it's nowhere near the level of some of the bridges that I've visited in the past. And I really love the look of this banner waving in the wind. It has the appearance of being in slow motion, even though we're just moving along here at a regular rate and the video hasn't been changed in the least.
Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the underside of this bridge, which is really pretty cool as well. park here is really flooded, but it has been storming a lot this year, especially over the last week. You can kind of tell by the color of the water and the swiftness of the river that the water level is pretty high right now. There's a rope that someone has attached so that people can swing out in to the river and go swimming. That's pretty cool. There's also a pretty decent amount of graffiti down here. Looks like a lot of it started to wear away. Or maybe somebody's come down and tried to clean it off a little bit. So lots of names. And the same thing on the pillars here. Lots of people have come down here and tagged it with their name.
So I'd like to thank you all for watching this most recent exploration on 539 Productions. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to see more great adventures like this several times a week. And don't forget to check out Patreon to get your name in the credits and even more great rewards. Bye everybody.